I never thought I'd be the kind of person to say this out loud, but here I am, writing into the void because I need to get this off my chest. My boyfriend stole from me. And I don't just mean he took money or jewelry, though he did that too. He stole my love, my trust, the life I thought we were building together. Everything. It's been almost a year now, and there's still a sting when I think about it. But I'm stronger, smarter. And maybe, just maybe, sharing this story will help someone out there see the red flags I ignored. It all started 2 years ago. I had just gotten out of a toxic relationship and was slowly finding my feet again. I wasn't looking for love, I wasn't even interested in dating. But then I met him, Darian. He worked at the gas station near my apartment. The first few times I saw him, we just exchanged polite smiles. Then one rainy evening, I was standing in line behind a woman yelling at the clerk about expired coupons, and Darian looked at me and raised his eyebrows in mock horror. I laughed. That moment? It felt real. Like he saw me in a sea of strangers. He was charming. Not in an over-the-top, cheesy kind of way. He was soft-spoken, thoughtful. He complimented my vintage backpack, remembered my favorite snacks, and one day, he handed me a coffee on the house and said, "You looked like you needed this." My heart did a little flip. After a few weeks of this casual flirting, I worked up the courage to ask him if he wanted to hang out sometime. He smiled and said, "I thought you'd never ask." That night, we had dinner at a little diner just outside town. It wasn't fancy, but it felt magical. He told me about how he used to paint, how he dropped out of art school to take care of his sick mom. His eyes were so expressive when he talked, it felt like I was getting a peek into his soul. We talked for hours. And for the first time in a long time, I felt seen. I didn't realize it then, but he was good at this. At making you feel special. At pulling you in. Our relationship moved fast. Within 2 months, we were spending almost every night together. He started staying over at my apartment more than his own place, which he said was a shared room with a messy roommate he didn't get along with. So I offered him my spare key. "Just until you get your own place," I said. He kissed me and said, "You're my home now." God, I fell harder. It wasn't perfect. There were small things. Like how he never really wanted to go out in public, especially not places where he might run into people. Or how he'd shut down whenever I asked too many questions about his past. He always had some vague excuse, and I, being the hopeless romantic, chose to believe him. He said he had debts, that he was trying to clear things up, get back on his feet. He couldn't keep a steady job because of bad luck. I started covering rent, groceries, his phone bill. I told myself it was temporary. Because I loved him. Because love means helping each other, right? I started selling my handmade jewelry online to pick up extra cash. Some nights, I'd be up till 2 a.m. packing orders while he slept peacefully in our bed. I didn't mind. I felt like we were building a life. What a fool I was. The first red flag I should have noticed was the missing cash. I kept emergency money, about $3,000, in a small locked drawer. It was all the savings I had left after my last breakup. I never touched it. Then one day, it was gone. I tore the apartment apart looking for it. I asked Darian if he'd seen it, and his face twisted in confusion. "Why would I take your money?" he said, hurt. "Do you really not trust me?" I felt horrible. Guilty even. He hugged me and said maybe I misplaced it. "You've been so stressed, babe. We'll find it." We never did. Things got weird after that. He started using my laptop more even when I needed it for work. Passwords started changing. He said he was trying to start a business, some dropshipping thing. I wanted to support him, but every time I asked for details, he got defensive. Then one day, I came home from a quick trip to the grocery store and found him arguing on the phone. When he saw me, he hung up quickly and said it was just a telemarketer. His hands were shaking. My gut twisted, but I smiled. Laughed it off. Because love means trust, right? Then came that day. I was out running errands. I texted Darian to ask if he wanted takeout for dinner, no response. I figured he was asleep or out. But when I got home, the door was unlocked. I stepped inside, and everything felt off. Too quiet. Still. Like the air had been sucked out of the room. I called his name. Nothing. I walked into the bedroom, and my heart stopped. His duffel bag was gone. So was the spare key. So was my laptop. And the small box where I kept my grandmother's necklace, a family heirloom passed down for generations. Gone. I opened every drawer, every closet, every cabinet. Empty. I checked my bank account. $1,200 gone. Transferred to some unfamiliar name I didn't recognize. That's when it hit me. He left me. He robbed me. He'd been planning this. I sat down on the floor, numb. My heart was racing so hard I thought it might stop. How? Why? How could someone who held me so close, whispered promises in my ear, kissed my forehead and said, "Forever, do this to me"? I tried calling him. Straight to voicemail. I tried every number, every social account. Deleted. He vanished. I reported everything to the police. Filed a report. Gave them his full name, a photo, everything I knew. They nodded politely. Took notes. But I could see it in their eyes, they weren't hopeful. "He's likely done this before," one officer said. "We'll do what we can." That was it. That night, I lay in bed surrounded by silence. My phone didn't buzz. No apology. No explanation. Just emptiness. Cried until my throat was sore. Until I couldn't feel anything at all. I felt stupid. Used. Broken. For weeks, I barely ate. Barely slept. I didn't want to talk to anyone. When my best friend came over to check on me, I broke down in her arms like a child. I gave him everything, I whispered. I loved him. She didn't say, "I told you so." She just held me. I needed that more than I realized. One night, I opened an old photo album. Pictures of us smiling, laughing, holding hands at the park, kissing in the snow. I remembered every moment so clearly, and then I took a pair of scissors and cut them up. Every single one. It felt petty, but also freeing. Healing didn't come in a neat little box with ribbons. It was messy. Some days I felt strong, like I'd dodged a bullet. Other days, I missed him so much it hurt to breathe. I started therapy. It was expensive, but worth it. My therapist helped me understand that people like Darian are master manipulators. They find the cracks in your heart and dig their way in. He never loved me. He loved what I could give him. But that doesn't make me weak. It makes me human. I started rebuilding. I got a second job, moved to a new apartment, started writing again, something I hadn't done since before I met him. I built routines. I created a vision board. I learned to cook dishes I always thought were too hard. I cried. I laughed. I swore I'd never let anyone break me like that again. And then, I lived. Months passed. One day, while browsing Facebook, a mutual friend messaged me. "You dated Darian, right?" My stomach dropped. She sent me a screenshot of a post from a local group. A woman was warning others about a guy who'd stolen from her. Same pattern. Quick romance. Moving in. Taking things. Disappearing. It was him. Different name. Different story. Same tactics. I reported it. So did others. I don't know if he ever got caught. Maybe he's still out there, breaking hearts and stealing lives. But he won't break mine again. Now, when I look in the mirror, I see someone I never knew existed. Someone strong. Someone wiser. Someone who survived. Yes, he stole from me. But he didn't destroy me. In fact, he did something he never intended to. He set me free. Free to find myself. Free to grow. Free to love again, maybe someday, but on my terms. And if you're reading this and you've been through something similar, hear me. It wasn't your fault. You didn't deserve it. And you will rise again.